News is America's election headquarters and the president's re-election team, likely hoping for some more Republicans on Washington bashing in tonight's debate. According to the latest ABC News Washington Post poll, 49% of Americans now have a negative view of our president. That is an all-time high. With us now, the Democratic mayor of Minneapolis, R.T. Rybak. He is also the vice chair of the Democratic National Committee and was the first mayor in this nation to endorse President Obama for the presidency back in 2008. Mr. Mayor, thank you and welcome to Fox News Channel.
It's good to be here.
All right, what do the Democrats want to see happen tonight?
Well, being a Democrat at a Republican debate is kind of like being at a wedding where you're not in the family. You just kind of want to make sure you stay out of the way. But we also want to hear the same old things that we expect to hear. I think in all of these debates, they've been saying the same thing. They want to go back to the economic policies of George Bush, which, by the way, is kind of what got us into this mess in the first place.
Was it the economic policies of George Bush that got us into this mess, or was it the changing dynamic of this economy, which includes automation and outsourcing and all the rest?
All your points are true, and I was listening to that segment you had before, but you also were talking about some people making extraordinary sums of money. That's fine, but we shouldn't have politics in Washington that are about making sure we do everything possible to protect them and not the middle class. I think when we go to the George Bush policies, the part that I most shudder at when I hear these debates is these candidates saying that what we really need is less oversight of those who were involved in some of the financial wheeling and dealing that had huge implications for the economy. We want Americans to be able to make a lot of money. That's what the American way is all about. But we also want fairness, and I think that's what the president's been about. I think that's what this debate about the middle class tax cut has been in Washington. I'm really happy there's a bipartisan agreement, it seems, and that's a good thing because people should come together right now. But we could have had an agreement months ago if the Republicans wouldn't have held out to prevent middle-class Americans from getting a tax cut just so they could protect those at the very, very top end.
Let's do a little self-analysis. The president is in quite a position as he tries to not continue to blame others for everything and still take some personal responsibility for the mess that we're in. He's been trying to, I don't know, straddle that line a little bit. And a lot of the critics said earlier he just didn't do a very good job with this local station. He's like, we're trying, we've spent, but, there's more to do. What would you suggest to him?
Well, I would suggest that we're doing exactly what we should do, is we're going out into small towns in Iowa and across the country, big cities, doing the same thing, looking people in the eye and telling them that we are in tough times and it's not going to be a snap of the finger to get out. What we do need to do is to make sure the economy is treating everyone fairly. We need to invest in the engines of the economy, which is small business. And as a mayor who's been able to put money into small businesses because of the work of President Obama, I know that we're on the right track on that. We have to be about investing in the new economy, the places where things are growing. The new energy economy in places like Iowa or Minnesota or other places is what the president's invested in. We also have to make sure we drive exports, which the president has focused on, and that's one of the pieces of the economy that's really moving forward. There's no magic wand with all of this, but if we do the basics and we have fairness, and that's what the president's been about, we can keep moving. And the good news is 21 straight months of private sector job growth. We're moving in the right direction, and we just have to not go back to the past.
The outsider looking in at the party in Iowa tonight, R.T. Rybak, the mayor of the city of Minneapolis. It's nice to see you, sir. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, you have one last chance to hear from the contenders before the nation's first presidential contest. I haven't mentioned